Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Happy Monday. If you're watching this, that means that you didn't let anybody kill you on Friday, and for that, that looks like it. And for that, we're so excited to have you join us. You know my name already. I'm Levin Miller, and Bradley Roll, my spiritual advisor, the spiritual advisor for the whole Bahamas, I'm told these days,
Bahamas, yeah.
joins me in studio. Spiritual advisor. Happy Monday.
Absolutely.
How did you get into this weekend?
But the weekend was pretty good. I actually enjoyed the weekend.
Yeah. Was it rainy where you were?
No, it was hot, but I was looking forward to the rain, which did come for a couple of minutes on Sunday afternoon.
More importantly, did anyone cook any soup where you were this weekend?
No.
You don't know any Save women at all?
No, I no one cooked soup, so...
Wow, you should fire all the women around you because they're obviously not safe.
I always have to go out and look for dinner.
Oh, boy.
Hopefully I'll change that sometime this year.
Oh, boy.
If it's the Lord's will.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, so what happened? I went to Eleuthera this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, I attended a business mix and mingle of some sort with some professionals. It was a building expo with all sorts of the insurance people was there, and the bank people was there, and the brick people was there. And they got steel that make out of rubber now. They was there, and what's the name of the other company that was there? Stone Oak. They were down there. Apparently it was their event. And so we did a bunch of shaking hands and exchanging numbers. I ran into Theo Neely as well, the former member of Parliament, who was down there, of course, in a different capacity. It's such a wonderful event. I mean, to just have so many business professionals in one room, shaking hands and creating nexuses, and I've said to them actually that I think that this is something that, because Eleuthera is pretty long, so they shouldn't just do this in Governor's Harbor. They should actually do this again in North Eleuthera and then maybe on Arbor Island, because Arbor Island is like a construction capital, and then they should probably do it in South Eleuthera. It was a wonderful, wonderful little time, and I had wonderful pineapples, yeah. And some good old fried fish at the event. It wasn't too bad at all. And what else happened?
It was just a spot.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. It was at the workers. Isn't it the workers' house? Is that what you
Which
call
part
it?
was it called?
Governor's Harbor.
Oh, GH, okay.
Yeah. But I went through the whole length and breadth of Eleuthera. Clay, I want to say this. I have to say this publicly. As much as the back of my tongue will bleed when I say this, Sylvanus Petty ain't look like he doing too bad as MP. I was so impressed. We'll talk about that. I'll probably mention the corporate mix and mingle, the Builders Expo a little bit more. I had fun at that. We'll be right back after this break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you so much for staying with us through the break. I'm Levan Miller. Bradley Roll, the spiritual advisor, is with me in studio. And where were we, Bradley? I was telling you about Eleuthera.
Yeah.
It is a sunny island. What people do there is bound to make you smile. From Spanish Well down to Preachers... How did the song go, Bradley? Help me. From Spanish Well to something, see Preacher's Cave. It's right. There's something down on each end. Ola-di-da. Ola-di-da-da. Just one thing with this spiritual advisor, boy.
So Eleuthera's like about what?
I just told you what it's like. It's like a sunny
120 miles long? Not so long, eh?
Yeah, it's about 100.
Really?
About 115 miles, I think it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's quite a distance. That's
Yeah,
quite a
I still
drive.
maintain they don't need 3 airports, though.
Yeah, man, one north, one central, one south.
Foolishness. Listen to me, man. Build 2 nice airports on the 2 ends of the island, right?
So what are the people in the central going to do?
Then spend
And
the
the
rest
south
of the money building Eastern Highway. It only takes so long because the road's so narrow.
Yeah, this is true.
If the road wasn't narrow and windy and bendy, and when you go up in what the place name, the speed bump them just awkwardly placed. They just litter speed bumps in Gregory Town. Like I don't even know what the science on these speed bumps is. They just some guy
Safety,
just
man.
say,
Safety.
yeah,
Slow you
agreed.
down so you
I
don't
agree.
kill
I
yourself.
agree. But I tell you one thing, Debs, you think Glenasana speed bump is no joke. Them speed bump in Gregory Town could have bought baby. I telling you that.
Oh, so they're kind of,
I telling you that.
they're like humps.
If you don't
They
know
should be,
baby,
they should be
go to
long
Gregory
and
Town.
smooth so you don't feel it when you go over
Beloved,
it.
let me tell you something. When you hit them, immediately the baby
should be wide,
will
actually.
evacuate your womb immediately. So it was fun. I had fun with the people down there at White Oak. So Stone Oak. Why do I keep calling them White Oak? Stone Oak. They did a little mix and mingle, and it was wonderful. Actually, I enjoyed it. So Holy Scripture. What do you have for us today out of Holy Scripture?
For those, I don't know if you can pull it. No, you can pull it. So what we'll do, they can't pull it. Then what I would do is just read it.
Okay.
It's in the book of the Old Testament.
Well, at least you know you could read.
The book of Genesis 1.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking at verse 20. Sorry about that. Let me get my red Bible quickly. And let's go to the book of Genesis chapter 1. We're going to look at 27, 28. It says, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish of the sea and the living birds of the air and of every living creature that moves on the ground.
Yeah.
Genesis 1,
and that was in
27,
Genesis
20,
1.
27,
So that means
28.
That was right with
Old Testament, yeah.
Let us make man.
All that.
Let us what else, God? This is the
the
fundamental of the earth.
Yeah, it gives you the whole account of the creation. So in
Yeah.
Genesis 1, at the end of the 27, 28, it tells you that God created male and female, and he gave them the command to be fruitful and multiply. Which would make sense because then they would have to fill the earth up. Because Adam and Eve was the first male and female, and then from there we keep multiplying and
that's how you know
multiplying. Yeah, that's how you know woman and woman can't reproduce,
And man and man
that's how you
can't.
know man and man can't produce.
Yeah, because only 2 people get the instruction.
Right. So
And it was
God
male and
created male and female. Yeah.
Wow.
The perfect fit. So the male has
fitting
different. He
to
has
go
different
in.
organ parts.
Yeah.
And the female have different organ parts.
Yeah.
And what God did, He
They just
created
fit
them.
together.
Right.
This make to go into that,
Yeah.
like
right.
this.
Right. You
And
see?
it could go, no matter how much
And
time you
the
try it, it'll just go
right.
right in just like that. Okay.
And the science of it, the man has the seed, the woman has the egg, the seed and the egg, and and bang, 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 boom.
That's how this happened where you from?
You need to check
Just bang,
China.
bang, 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 boom.
You need to
just-
see how fast it happened in China. You guys.
Wow. Thank God AK ain't got no Chinese in it. Ah, boy. Anyway, so be fruitful and multiply is the instruction
That's the order.
in the bedrock of the earth given to man, and in this instance, you mean mankind,
Yeah.
by God.
And we've seen the results.
Yeah.
Right now, it's about what, 8 billion people? Existing
The
on Earth? Is it eight?
the Earth
7 point something?
8.14, I think it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the result of multiplication.
Yeah.
You got 8
So-
point something billion.
So what we want to talk about today, spiritual advisors. I read an article in the newspaper sometime last week, but of course, you know, the budget consumed that all, and yeah, we would be remiss if we didn't discuss the budget. And I do have a on the phone guest who is going to join me shortly, Brendina Dean, who is a trained patient care technician, because there's something that troubles me, spiritual advisor. I do not think, firstly, we are adhering to the command by God to be fruitful and multiply. I think that predominantly in the black community, that mandate, and this is the one time I will agree with the Israeli fellas, right? You know the Israelites, what they call themselves, the black Israelites of something? Damn, I agree with them. In that, I believe that while the Bible is for everybody, a lot of these commands were to the benefit of Negroes. Like, you know, don't have children under wedlock and da-da-da-da. Because if you could live your life by the Mosaic law, your life would technically be perfect. You would almost not need God if you could apply all of Moses' law. If you could apply all of Moses' law. Too. Precisely. But since Negroes are Negroes, wherever you find them, God know that we wouldn't be able to adhere to Moses' law.
Because human is human, and we are subject to weakness and failings, then
but I feel like fail. Negroes are even more subject. You know, like it's something about that pigment that just makes them, I'm not sure.
The Bible is a black book that applied to the first black people. So, I mean,
yeah. And so the point I'm making is there's something about this concept of black people not having sufficient children that I think is going to pay to our detriment in the future.
You think so?
I do. And I can tell you as somebody, my granddaddy is 99 years old. Do you know how much resources and assets it takes to keep a 99-year-old man alive?
Okay.
All right. My mother isn't very old, but even now I look at her and I think to myself, you know, if my mother does an additional 25 years, do I have the sufficient resource to make sure that she lives a life that is reasonable? I think about people like my friend Geraldine Black, who's now predeceased us, or who's now gone on to be with the Lord, however you want to say it, who lived to be the ripe old age of 94, and for almost all of that had very unexplainably good health. But eventually, the health fades. And since I am a firm believer that white people took all the money in slavery, and the only thing black people had was black people, I think that black people had an obligation to continue creating more black people because poorly living was how we were supposed to survive. So we were supposed to share the burden of the economy to ensure that we were able to amass the same amount of land and wealth and goodness that white people could have simply because they took the money. If black people had the money, we would have all the stuff. We don't have the stuff because the white people take the money out of slavery, and what they leave us with? Black people. And so I read the article in the newspaper last week, right? And the article said, Kathleen Davis feels fulfilled. She's a college educated, she is college educated, owns her own home, has a career in finance, and spends her free time working out and volunteering with a local charity. The 42-year-old divorcee is also child-free and has no regrets about her decision not to become a mother. I like my lifestyle, and I feel having a child is going to take away from it. Davis said, I know that sounds selfish, but I think it's okay. This is not the 1800s where people feel women should have children to fulfill some kind of social expectation. But her thinking hasn't always been this way. Growing up, Davis assumed she would have children, and in high school had even picked out the names for these yet unborn offspring. Then a health scare in her 20s made her reconsider subjecting her body to pregnancy and childbirth. Aside from fears about how a child would compromise her lifestyle, Davis admits the sky-high cost of living in the Bahamas has also factored into her choices. I think right now, financially, bringing a child into this world is tough. Davis, who asked that her real name not be used for this story, said, I prefer being the rich auntie who can give the gifts here and there, and when I'm ready to pull back, I still have my space. What she sees as a lack of viable male partners in the Bahamas is also a compounding factor. That's always humorous. I wouldn't have a need for a child, but I have a need for a companion, Davis said. Maybe if I found a long-term companion, we'll say, oh, let's just have a baby, but maybe not. There's a true shortage of men, and I feel that the man should be a part of the child's life. That's a lot of work. Patricia Hall, a married public school teacher, said the expense of raising children is one of the reasons she has decided to be child-free. The cost of living is far too high. I believe to responsibly consider financially investing in raising children, Hall, whose name has been changed for this story, said, with rising costs in fuel, electricity, and let's not even talk about food, I'm like, that's really not the wisest course at this time. Hall's husband has 2 children from a previous relationship and agrees with her decision not to bring more babies into the world, she said. Not having children allows Hall to focus on her creativity, pursuits, and career. However, she says work aspirations did not influence her decision. Instead, her career as a teacher is what opened her eyes to how difficult it is to raise well-adjusted human beings. I've been a teacher for 10 years in the public system, and I've taught the full gamut of children, from the worst of the worst to the best of the best, Hall said. One thing that always stood out to me was, even when you invest so much of your time and your effort into raising your child well, the amount of influences that they face outside the home can significantly impact their development in a way that you would not even know until something happens. That scared me straight from having children. I saw some of the best children possessing some of the nastiest qualities just because of peer pressure, wanting to fit in, to be with the in crowd. They wanted to be, because they wanted to be liked, she said. Hall said she has faced judgment and pressure over her decision not to have children. She has been on the receiving end of anger and pushback from people who tell her she doesn't know what she's missing out on. Every single time the conversation comes up and someone says, "When are you going to have your child?" there is backlash, Hall said. I'm like, never. I have dogs. Would you like to meet them? Davis doesn't feel pressure from her family to have children, but admits that jokes people make, including a persistent jab from her gynecologist that he is waiting for her to have a baby before he can retire, can sometimes be insensitive. Hall and Davis are part of a growing number of Bahamian women who are either delaying motherhood or choosing to have fewer children than the previous generations or deciding not to have them at all. Jessica Minnis, a sociology professor at the University of Bahamas, said, people are having fewer children because they are postponing marriage and focusing on their careers. Many university students, she said, also have expressed concern about raising children in such an expensive society. They cannot see themselves looking after their families in a proper way, making sure that they have the basic necessities of life, and that they can survive and thrive, Minnis told us. Aging population in the Bahamas. The Bahamas' live birth rate has been on a steady decline since the early 1990s. In 1993, the country recorded 6,664 live births, compared to 3,300 in 2022. According to data from the Ministry of Health's Information and Research Unit, results from the Bahamas 2022 census show that while the country's total population grew by more than 46,000 people in the last 12 years, the average annual growth rate has declined. According to the data, net migration, not natural birth, was a major contributor to the population increase, and that is dangerous. The census data shows that while fewer babies are being born, the Bahamian society is getting older. The number of people under the age of 15 decreased from 94,119 in 2010 to 89,768 in 2022. Minnis says the demographic shift will have long-term impacts on the nation. If you're looking at the Bahamas in terms of our population growth, if we're saying that it's on the decline, yes, it's going to have an impact on the society, because it means then that although we have a workforce, we're going to also have, like you're finding elsewhere, an aging population. So that means the government is going to have to shift resources eventually because people are living longer because of health advancements. So it means that the government is going to have to provide more for the aging population. You're going to have more facilities to accommodate them if the children don't want to look after their parents. And because they are living longer, then it raises the question of, do we extend the retirement age? It's a topic that's also on the minds of top government officials. Last July, Minister of Immigration and National Insurance, Alfred Sayers, told the Parliament that the government had directed the National Insurance Board to engage stakeholders in a discussion about increasing the nation's pension and retirement age. At the same time, Sayers said Bahamians are living longer and we are having fewer children, adding that the ratio of people working compared to the number of retirees is not sustainable. The country's retirement age is 65. However, many people retire early, starting at the age of 60, and received the reduced pension benefit. A shrinking workforce due to an aging population has implications for the economy because it will erode the middle class, Minnis said. You don't want to have an extreme situation where you have a very rich and very poor society, because then you are not going to function very well, because you have more people in poverty and you are going to require more resources to take care of them and keep the economy floating. So that's a large part of the article that I've read. I know we're about to go to the break. I do have my PCT technician, the T in PCT is for technician. My PC technician on the call. Are you still with us?
Yes.
So you've heard the article. We're about to go to the break. I think we've got about a minute to go to the break before we go to the break. So I'm going to ask you to hold on with us through the break. And then when we come back, I want to get more of your thoughts. But just on the surface, you've heard the article. You've heard the reasons people are not having children. You've heard, sure, some of it is medical. People are having scares. But all of the signs appear to lead to doom. Is that fear-mongering, or from where you sit on a daily basis in the profession that you're in, is that something you see?
I think it's fair. A person's fair.
You think the assessment of what is being said is a fair assessment?
Yeah.
How difficult, if anything at all, have you found it in your profession for people who are living longer lives at whatever point they get sick? How difficult is it for those people to actually find people that are not family members to come and care about them?
It is very difficult. I've been here for 13 years and dealing with geriatric patients. There are persons who have family members who don't check at all. Like, they rather pay someone to take care of them rather than to take care of them themselves.
Mm-hmm. And that is the norm, you're saying?
That is the norm. That is regular.
And
like, they will go away and travel and be like, hey, I need you to come in for 3 weeks to take care of Mom because I don't want to take her with me, and, you know, all sorts of stuff.
Wow. And are you finding this in families like where, you know, in the families of the 1970s where the average person had 5 to 7 children, or are you finding that happening more now with the steady birth decline?
The 1970s.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit more about it on the next side of the break. Don't go anywhere. Brendia is my guest. She's a PCT, and we're talking about the offspring of this massive reduction in childbearing. I don't think it's something that benefits Negroes, and I think it's something we have to look into. I think the government has got to look into it because it's going to have consequences that are far-reaching in my view. We'll talk about that and more on the next side of the break. Don't go anywhere. Freedom March is here.
We'll be back.
Welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you so much for staying with us. I'm Levan Miller. Bradley Roll is in studio with me, the spiritual advisor. We have a guest on the line, Prendia. Is she still there? Are you still there? No, my guest isn't there. So we're talking about she's calling my name.
No, she's calling you.
Oh, you sure? Yeah, nobody calling me. Prendina, are you there? No, nobody's there. Okay, so we've been talking about the decline in birth rates and how
In the Bahamas.
In the Bahamas.
Okay.
And how that has been steadily declining to the point that it's putting our national social security in jeopardy. It is now putting the workforce in jeopardy. Of course, you hear Brendina Dean telling us, listen, that she's been a PCT for 13 years and she's seeing them more and more throughout the course of her own professional life and career. She's seeing parents that are pretty much just being tossed by the wayside because they don't have sufficient children to care for them, right? And I've said before, my granddad had 29 children, or 27, I miscount sometimes, right? But you know what was interesting? And he said this to me at the age of 84. He said, boy, I had enough children in life to guarantee that even if half of my children had turned out not to be worth anything, I would still have sufficient children to take care of me. And what I'm telling you, spiritual advisor, is that what we see happening now, see if you can get Brendina back on the phone for me, please, is we are choosing everything over childbearing as if childbearing isn't how we got here. Bradley Roll exists because some woman decided, your mommy, that she was going to have a child for your daddy.
Married, yeah, I have children.
Yeah,
Okay.
all of them wasn't getting married. Some of them get married. Your mommy got married for all her children, or she just, because you know some of them is get more saved as they get older. They start having the children first, and then they get saved, and then they get married, and then they have the rest of the children. That's how some people do it, right?
Okay.
Not my good Church of God Grammy though. My good Church of God Grammy get married first, and then had the 18 children. But I mean, I understand the Bible says that marriage is honorable and all, but what about the social aspect? We've got to figure out a way to incentivize childbearing in the Bahamas.
So what's the plan to do that?
I don't know, but we can't just lay on our backs and die. We've got to figure out a way. I've heard everything in this article from I have a dog to I'm focusing on my education to
Cost of living.
Yeah.
Which is true.
But here's the thing, right? In my own personal life, I tell people that my life didn't get less expensive or more expensive with the addition of children. Like, children come along, fine, but I feel like I spend the same amount of money on one child as I do on two children. It's kind of like having chickens. Like, if you have one chicken, you still need 50 pounds of chicken feed. If you have 10 chickens, you still need 50 pounds of chicken feed, because that's all they just said.
Well, they're just be eating less.
Right, but all I'm saying to you is, like, no one in this generation makes less than their parents did. Your daddy has never made the amount of money that you make.
Yes, man.
Your daddy?
10 times.
Who he's
more.
working for?
Himself.
Foolishness.
His contractor.
Foolishness.
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of contractor?
Building contractor.
You mean like brick and mortar contractor?
Yeah, building. Yeah,
okay,
building
and you know that
buildings.
there was a time that they was paying people 15 cents to lay a block?
Yeah.
Which mason in the Bahamas today will you find to lay a block for 15 cents?
Well,
That's the same 8-inch block.
No, when my father was laying blocks, he's being paid $1 a block.
Somebody throw water on this spiritual. When your daddy laid these blocks?
Yeah. I don't get into my father's business.
No,
right?
I'm just saying.
I'm just telling you
I'm
what I
saying
know. He made at least $1.
My granddaddy has never made the amount of money that I make. He got 18 children. You understand my point? And at 99, you know who takes care of him all day, every day? His children and the children of his children. And I'm very dreadful because the Bahamas doesn't have a large investment in old folks' homes. At the very best, you get to go to one of the rinky-dink, run-of-the-mill ones where the air conditioning is optional, right? And someone might leave you in a pair of Depends until you melt, right? But I mean, either we're going to have to figure out a way to incentivize the population growth, or we have to begin to think about, I think we've lost my caller, or we're going to have to begin to think about not building new hospitals and not building more schools, because who are we building these schools for, right? And we have to focus then, or turn the attention then, to building more hospices and that kind of stuff, Bradley. You older than me, you should be thinking about this. And if you've ever raised your parents, because at some point in your life, you know, you begin raising your parents, right? There are probably any number of people home listening to us who literally have full responsibility for their aging parent. They have to tell them what to do, tell them how to dress, take them to all their appointments, and old people don't ever stop making up things to do, right? So you got to take them to church, you got to take them to their doctor's visits, you got to make sure that they're getting their medication. And the question becomes, is it fair for one child to have to do all of that? Plus maintain his life and maintain the life of whatever else he has going on, their dog, apparently, right? These are things you have to factor in as a society. And you can't just leave it to chance. You can't just say, oh, it's expensive, we can't do it. Because then what will the Bahamas, you all love to fight and curse about so much, and the Haitians taking over, and the this thing and the that thing and the blah, 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 right? If none of us having children, will there even be a Bahamas in 50 years?
So, you know, to be honest with this conversation and to be properly informed and to make a viable contribution,
sure.
I think we need to do a survey. And the number one survey for me is this. 60 years ago, they were having more children than they're having children now. So we must ask ourselves, why? Because my dad had 9 children.
Right.
I just have 1.
Right.
I could tell you why.
Tell me why.
Children are expensive in this day and time.
Bradley, what about your life isn't expensive? Do you drive a car? Do you drive a car?
Yeah, I drive a car.
That's expensive.
Yeah, but children are expensive.
Do you realize that to have a car...
You realize to have 3 children in private school right now, today?
They don't have to go to private school.
Okay.
They don't have to go to private school.
3 children in public school.
Yeah, you also don't have to have a car, you know that, right?
Yeah, but I ain't catching a bus. Because
but I'm saying,
I saw a bus did one move on me yesterday.
You probably was in his way.
Sunday?
You probably was in his way.
This morning.
Why were you in that decent bus driver's way?
These bus drivers are now so
Why
ridiculous.
were you in that decent
I was in his
public
way.
service
He
transportation
just decided
engineer's way?
he can pull across me
Yeah,
because
and
he
you
need
look
to
at
get to
this
the
drive
bus
one
stop.
of them little Japanese car.
Yeah,
He probably sick of y'all.
No, that ain't. Bus drivers are just ridiculous in this country.
Okay, fine.
And so most people decide they want to buy cars rather than drive.
But having a car is expensive. You realize that having a car adds about $5,000.
Having a Japanese car is not expensive.
Jesus, well, that's even worse.
Because
you mean the car where you got to change the lower control arm and the tie rod in and out the tie rod in every 3 weeks?
It depends on how you drive it. You can
on Nassau Road.
You can do about $45 a week on gas, which is not bad.
This is where I like to just help you.
And that's if you're driving up and down,
this is where I like to help you with the argument you're having. $45 times 52 weeks. It's $2,000.
No. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me do this correctly. You can do $50 worth of gas. You can fill up a Japanese car, and it could basically, if you're just going from home to work, that'll probably last 2 weeks.
You can get one more lie on this TV.
Yeah, that'll probably last 2 weeks.
I just tell you,
because I driving up and down all day, and I doing like $45 to $50 gas a day, and I driving up and down.
Yeah. Okay. $50. $50 times 52 weeks. It's $2,600.
I'm telling you, every 2 weeks you'll have to fill up.
Fine.
So divide 2 into 52, what you get?
Hold on. $50 times. I don't know what
you're
talking about. Times 26 weeks.
But let's not get lost.
$1,300 a year. I'm just trying to show you something. You could catch the bus every day of the year and don't spend this. You could catch 2 buses every day for a year and don't spend it. So having a car is expensive. We using your argument. Yeah. What else you have? This look like designer. I never wear a shirt with a shark on it in my life. How much it costs to own a shirt with a shark on it? Because this look like only people who just golf could wear this. How much that cost?
I have no idea.
You get this from the Salvation Army?
No, I have no idea. I don't buy shirts. They're gifted to me.
Wow. Could you have them gift me?
People just give me things.
Okay, you have 2 cell phones in your hand, right?
Yeah, you just like them people in Canada.
Right?
Why are you watching my 2
cell phones, right? That's about $1,000 worth of. And one of these
business.
is an iPhone.
One for business.
There's $3,000 worth of cell phone in your hand almost.
And one for Jesus.
So let's add the $2,000 worth of phone. That one ain't safe. This is the one the Spirit is calling. So now you got $2,000 worth of cell phone, right? So having a cell phone is expensive. What else? Food? How much do you spend on food?
Well, let's come on now. Let's be realistic now.
I'm saying to you that
having more than one child
cost
today
is
is
relative.
expensive.
Cost is relative. And I know what you all can say. I have 2 children. Can I tell you this? Zoom the camera in on me so they can know I ain't lying. Where the camera is. The only reason I have 2 children is because the old people told me I didn't need children. That is the greatest regret of my life. I don't know what these stupid old people was talking about when they tell me they don't have children. And I just as stupid because I listened to them because they had children when they were 16. And I was 29 years old listening to old people tell me I don't need children.
So I can tell you that I think the best way to deal with this problem is for
everybody go home and make one baby tonight. That's your homework.
No.
What you mean no?
No.
If you are home tonight, I want you to go in the house you living in and make one baby tonight. And you come back here tomorrow and report to me.
What if you're married to the person? Then you're going to have illegitimate
children.
We
can fix that later. By the time it's the baby born, we'll have you married. We done been down that road before.
Putting the cart before the horse.
But the horse still can run? That's all we care about. We still can get the apple of the cart.
If we could drive the cost of living down, I think you'll see people making
I think these people will just for never come out these college. How much of these degree you all want?
I don't want to bring anybody in this world that I can't help feed.
But spiritual advisor, when mama them was fooling us off a flower pop, how much of us dead? None.
Right. But you can't do that now because the processed food...
What, flower change?
The processed food was killing everybody. So,
spiritual advisor, you want to give me one reason
I'm not looking for an excuse, my brother.
Okay, let's see what the statistics say about the weight rate in the Bahamas. Because you tell me children expensive. I just proved to you.
There they are.
So is your Japanese car.
But mind you, I see where the government basically was trying to incentivize people to have more children.
How?
They increased the stillbirth fee.
The stillbirth, the live birth.
The live birth fee. I think it went from maybe 300 and something. It's now $525. So every live birth, the mother gets $525.
So only the mommy make this baby?
Well, they just give it to her. So you got to pass that argument.
2010, you all had 5,049 children. 2012, you all had 4,345 children. That was almost 1,000 children less. 2010, you all do 5049. These some good 4-ball. If you're listening to me, write down 1 or 2 of these as a 4-ball. Since we ain't making no baby, we must could go get some of the boss money. 4345 was what they had in 2012, right? 2013, you all do 3935. I mean, you all dropping these off 1,000 at a time almost.
In the Bahamas.
In the Bahamas. I don't know what happened in 2014. You all had a little uptick there. 4155, 15, 4253. But y'all come right back down in 16, 4093. Right?
2017.
I don't know what happened yet. They don't have no number. They 18, say total fertility.
19.
I look at now.
20. Well, you should have seen an increase in 20 during COVID. Between 20 and 21.
The only thing was happening was people was beating their wife. Anybody was having no baby.
Man.
They can't
just get this foolishness from my... Oh,
the domestic violence saw an uptick during COVID. Isn't that true?
That's ridiculous.
That's very true. The spiritual advisor. Spiritual advisor. Here's what I'm saying to you, right? We could continue ad nauseum to talk about how the children expensive and the milk expensive and the this thing expensive and that thing that's expensive.
Food in particular.
Here is what we ain't talking about. We live in a society where we have given women the ultimate right over procreation. Correct. And they are corrupting the society. And Little Woman Group, y'all could kill me for saying it. We have put childbearing solely in the hand of the woman. I ain't nobody interview no man in this thing yet. And the one man they interview through his wife say, I tell him we shouldn't have no more children. And he say, okay, baby. And that's the problem. The problem is we continue to tie our childbearing ambitions to these women who will do everything except have baby.
But both the male and the female have to decide if they want the child.
Dr. Elwood Donaldson told me there's nothing you could do as a man to impregnate a woman that has decided she will not be impregnated. Elwood Donaldson tell me that. And if he was living, he'd come right here and tell me that. You better thank God he dead. All right? Because other than that, he would verify that story for me. He said, but if a woman but if a woman wants to be pregnant, my brother, your best efforts can't stop her. As you look on her, pregnancy will take her. So, the question becomes, how have we intrigued the minds of Bahamian women with every single other thing on the planet? Except for childbearing. Everybody want to do everything else all day. Saturday, see if they ain't gonna be out there shaking up. All them got the little lizard navel. You know they say the lizard navel when they do the surgery, right?
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
No one want no baby though.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe? I gotta be careful.
Just ask me it in English.
Do you believe that the Bahamian society is sexually active?
Do I believe the Bahamian society is sexually active?
You think people are actually having sex?
No, I think there's plenty no sex happening around here. I didn't tell you these married people ain't getting them to have no sex. You could take that out your mind.
Oh, man.
Married people who in the car having sex. You all having sex? See that? You anybody answer us? So you know how you know they ain't having no sex? You ever see married people driving home from work in the truck? When I was a bus driver, all the bus drivers who listening to me if I lie and tell me. The one thing you get to do as a bus driver is watch oncoming traffic. You spend 2/3 of your day sitting in oncoming traffic. And you know what is the most interesting realization? Watching man and woman ride to and from work together. I never see so much bunch of pin-upness in my life. All the women them looking out the window for something invisible.
Right. You think they're mad?
The whole ride. The woman looking out the window. I don't know what she looking for. A matter of fact, my bus taller than her car and I can't see what she looking out this window for.
Oh,
but she would rather look at anything except for this man. Huh? And God help you if the woman driving, because now the man sitting there straight like he on punishment. He dare not look left or right. And I'm telling you, spiritual advisor, that 50 years from the day, we could joke about this now, you know. 50 years from the day, we are gonna pay the penalty for this bunch of no baby having. And you can say, okay, baby expensive. Raise your hand if you own a piece of David Yeoman jewelry and you got the matching necklace to go with it. Boy, cause that expensive. Yeah. Baby expensive. But if you own a pair of Tory Burch $400 slippers, raise your hand, man. You're only making sense to me. Baby expensive. But if you then on your second master's degree at $45,000 per annum, raise your hand. But you said the baby expensive. Ain't nothing wrong here, ain't expensive. And I keep telling you, it was his learned lordship, Sir Michael Barnett, that taught me Staffel is a basic principle of economics. There ain't no such thing as a free lunch.
But you have a choice if you want to have a child or not, right?
Choose. So
a choice.
Who making the choice?
This is my point.
It's your choice. No, it's individual.
Who choice is this?
Hold on. Man, listen, man. Come on, you fellas, y'all getting emotional. Y'all ain't getting nowhere.
How are I getting emotional?
It's an individual choice, male or female, if you want a child or not.
You always wanted one baby?
I only can afford a child.
Well, let me tell you, I wanted 10 baby.
I thank God I only have one too.
I wanted 10 baby. And more than likely...
And I'm glad I don't have...
and more than likely, for the same
glad I don't
reason...
have 10 children.
For the same reason every other man around here happy they ain't have no bunch of children. Because the only thing that happen is you have these children, this woman can drive you straight to hell with these children. Because that's the only way to affect you. The only way to affect you is to make life difficult between you and this child. And that is why a lot of black men have decided they're not taking this route. Because when I decide I'm not tolerating you no more, you know what you do? You weaponize your femininity against me. And when that don't work, you know what you do? You weaponize the baby against me, spiritual. Oh boy. I can't get one amen on this spiritual advisor, boy.
Not today on this nonsense.
I write this article.
Okay.
This ain't my evidence. They say the woman from the College of the Bahamas, you want me to call her name? The woman from the College of the Bahamas. My guest, who I've lost, has said that in her profession, she sees it every day. People are discarding their parents. It's because one child can't raise an aging parent. It is almost impossible. possible to do. And it is also unfair to do. For you to live forever and kill me out, knowing full well you only got one child, you need to hurry up dead, because I want to go live my life and I can't do it until you dead, Daddy.
So what do we plan to do with this?
You all have
now?
to start dying.
Okay.
I want to encourage all the people who only have one child to die early. That way you don't put no strain on the society. Other than that, NIB got to take care of you. Other than that, you end up in one of these old folks' home with people that don't love you taking care of you. Other than what the woman named in Freeport who take the people house? You know why? They didn't have enough children. And we have to fix that, spiritual advisor. And so I want to invite the women all over the land and bread of the Bahamas. Man, just have baby. It don't even hike no more here.
Yes, sir, baby.
Because spiritual
I
advisor.
never hear so much foolishness in all my life.
Okay, it's foolishness, right? Watch this. When they say we need more food, what the people is do? Start growing more food. Jomo got chicken laying egg. I hear them chicken can't catch themselves. Jomo got them laying to a jig. Why? Because Jomo say we need more food. And the tourists keep coming and you need more food. And the fact that you need to import more food is a direct correlation to more tourists, which means you need more food. And if the answer to more food is you simply grow more, then how come the answer to needing a younger, healthier population and you just need to make more young, healthy people? How come that don't make practical sense?
For those who want to have more children, go right ahead.
Oh boy.
And for those who decide
I think that you
they
all are
won't,
psychologically defective.
it is what it is.
You all are psychologically defective.
Now, we know for a fact that the Haitians have outpaced Bahamians.
And I'm not letting you talk, because that's a lie.
That is true. Yeah.
That is a lie.
And here's why that has happened.
I can tell you.
Here's why that has happened. They just ain't got nothing else to do.
That is a perpetuated lie. Just like how you like to tell the lie that bus drivers so slack and reckless.
Oh, they're crazy. Yeah, bus drivers
That is a
drive.
perpetuated lie made
But
by...
the Haitians have outpaced Bahamians in having children.
The Haitians
that's a
have done
fact.
one thing, and that
That's a
is
fact.
maintain a steady pace.
So you need to find out from the Haitians why they have more children than Bahamians do.
You want to see? I'm on the break. Let me tell you what I can do for you, right? So we could put this lie to sleep forever on TV.
And they do that for a reason.
What we've proven.
They purposely get pregnant
For
a reason.
And the article says that the uptick in population in the Bahamas is as a result of migration to high new births. It says that specifically. You know what that means? The Haitian woman is not having more children. That means she's still having the same 5 children. Sheila May here in this little article though won't raise puppy till she dead. And someone glorifies that. Butney man, this story here, to tell the whole grown man, you ain't need no more baby. And he say, oh, okay, baby. And we glorify that. And I'm telling you that we are doing this to our own detriment because page 1 of the book say, go there and make baby. That would you read the Holy Scripture for me, man?
God bless them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth.
And that on page 1. You know you like to quote this book.
Why is that on page 1, gentlemen? When there's only Adam and Eve.
Because he wants you to start off with this.
Now you need to have more people, so you keep multiplying. That hasn't changed. I'm just telling you that we're a bit more conservative now because of economics.
It's
That's what it is.
because they have allowed psychologically defective women to take charge of birth.
But you can't force a woman to have a child if she doesn't want it.
Force her.
Yeah,
you say,
do
hey,
that.
you feel like doing the thing tonight what you do when you will make baby? And when she say no, you say, may the Lord watch between mine and thine while we're absent one from another. And then you call up Sheila May and you say, hey, Sheila, girl, I hear you dead good at doing the thing you do when you will make baby, man. And then she say, yeah. And you say, well, you want to see if we could figure that out? And if she say yes, just go make the baby over there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because...
Well, I don't endorse that.
At some point,
sorry,
spiritual advisor. Hey, you're not gonna get the
You're
trip on
looking
me.
for excuses.
My
See
daddy
that?
is one of the best man I ever know, and he got children by 5 women, and his children love him so much. If you say a word about him, even in his death, they'll kill you to go so you can be with him. You're not gonna win me over on this argument that if you have a child with more than one person, somehow you evil and awful.
Well, that's what it's
How come when the woman have children with more than one person, she's a strong black woman who did everything she had to do to make sure her children had the best life could offer? Oh, but when I have baby with more than one woman, I destroying the planet.
Wow.
Oh boy, we have given rise to a duplicitous society fueled by psychologically defective people. You see this? This man, read it on page 1. Read page 1 again. Go and say it on page 1, spiritual advisor. And you know what is interesting to me, spiritual advisor? This jingle ain't ready to play yet. You know what is interesting to me, spiritual advisor? You are able to justify everything else in the scripture for me. But you can't tell me why would God say on page 1 of the Bible.
It's for husband and wife. Yes, be fruitful and multiply.
Then you saying you can't tell the
And the woman in the article tell her husband, hold on, I happy you going there. Because the woman in the article we read, say she tell her husband, boy husband, we need no more baby. And what the husband say? Okay, we've got to take it back from them. Don't worry, we ain't talking about this on the next side of the break. On the next side of the break, I talking about how Alfred says go on to China and all of a sudden nationalizing coconut is a good idea. But when we say they're on Freedom March, they hakiki us to death. I guess none of the Chinese have said it. Hopefully Jomo, the chicken them busy, but come pick some coconuts.
Hey, where I leave this on.
Hey, welcome back to Freedom. Been trying to convey the spiritual advisor on the whole break. I show him page one.
You ain't conveyed me no fornication.
I
all
say
you want to do is drop baby all over the place.
I say you all fellas who so talented enough to could get wife. See, because some of you all had 2 and 3 wife. I ain't had none yet. So you all is wife getting specialists, right? How come you all ain't have no baby? If married people doing all this sex having, if all these married people procreating and what they call it, culminating their marriage, right?
Consummating.
Consummating. That's what I say just now.
Culminating.
Mother sick. They consummating their marriage, right? How come?
Well, it's the same thing basically.
I feel like I don't miss English words
when
that
you have
far.
the sex, you actually
Culminated.
well, you're starting the marriage because the two come together.
I know my English ain't that off, right? But you're consummating in a marriage, right? Yeah? Well, if all this marriage consummation going on,
And then
how come these marriage ain't have no baby in them?
don't forget now, you got some people who are not fertile. So
And some of these people been married for about 99. Man, don't tell me foolishness like that.
every couple could have baby.
Hey, man, listen.
That's the truth.
But then now we might need to open up a new conversation because now you may
Plenty
need more
of
than
them-
one wife.
plenty
Now
of
you
them
need to
can't
have a
be-
second wife so you could have some baby in this house.
No, plenty of them can't bake no bread. So
Well, plenty of the bread mightn't have no of yeast in it. How you know the bread? How you know the loaf you put in there had the right ingredients? Huh? The oven might have been set to the right temperature. You keep putting this flat bread in here, and then actually.
gentlemen, because of medical conditions, not every woman can have a baby. So,
Fine, and we sympathize
what
with
it is.
those people.
Yeah, it
If
is
the
what it is.
doctors say no, my dear, no. But what will be the overall consideration for what we will do with this part? Because I must tell you now, don't try this outlawing. You could retire early. Because when I 60, oh, you all better have my money. I'm not waking another day in my life. I want to go collect my $1,300 from NIB. I'm going to tell you this now, Bradley. And I just want to do nothing. I want to show up to my watering hole every day. Only thing I want for God to give me is good knees that I can still walk myself, all my front teeth, and a spontaneous erection here and there. And I'm going to go by the bar with my pension, with nobody bothering me, and I just want to sit there and wink at the young girl who serves me my drink. That's what I want. So you can't cut out the 60-year-old pension before I reach. Now the year after me, sorry for Bravo and Mr. International them, boy, they should have born 1 year earlier. But until I get there, we need to keep that in place. You following me? And so we have to figure out how to get young people putting money back in this thing. And if all y'all saying, but the baby expensive, you think the baby expensive. Wait till you got bad knees and can't get in and out of your tub. And then you tell me what a PCT costs. And you tell me if that's more expensive than the baby or not. Let me open up the phone lines.
incentives, eh? We need to drive incentives for behemoths to have more children.
So let's have that conversation. What y'all need to have, baby?
Lower the cost of living.
Good oven. You say you gotta have good oven. You gotta have.
Lower the cost of living.
Yeah.
Let's start with that first.
Okay, what all need to be lower? Because you could sell a Japanese car today and take $5,000.
Electricity, food, and housing. Electricity,
PL
food,
PLP already lower
electricity, food, housing, and clothing. If you could lower those costs, people would probably be more
But
inclined to
Brave
have
just
more
do
children.
all of that in this budget, so that means the bite rate should go up.
That ain't no true.
But my God, didn't they just drop
Well, we'll see.
fat on all uncooked food to 5%?
Yeah, but we'll see.
And didn't they just lower the electricity? And they just claim all these things in the budget. So according to you, if you lower electricity, well, Brave do that. If you lower food, well, Brave do that. What else?
Clothing,
Brave just do that as well.
housing.
The Braves say keep can't stop building cheapos.
Yeah.
So the bite rate, according to your assessment,
You think those houses cheap, eh?
You can't win.
Those houses say $40,000? Or they
what is-
$280,000?
But cheap is relative.
Okay.
Cheap is a relative word. Expensive is a relative word.
Okay. Producer, it's 5 o'clock, is it?
It's 5 o'clock.
Let me wish my mom.
Oh yeah,
happy
please let's do
birthday.
this birthday shout outs.
If you see this beautiful 86-year-old woman today, please wish my mom a happy birthday. This is my mom. This is Mrs. Minnie Roll. Today's her birthday, June the 2nd. And she's 86. And she still has 6 children alive.
Wow.
So happy birthday coming from Myrtlin, Bradley, Martin, Rochelle, Keva. Who else is there, myself? Did I call myself? And myself. So it's Myrtlin, it's Bradley, it's Keva, it's Rochelle, it's Martin, and Desmond. So 6 of us still alive. And we're wishing our mom a wonderful and beautiful 86th birthday. Wow. Mom, you still look so good, eh? Wow, 86. Happy birthday, Mom. All the best to you. We hope you enjoy your birthday, and of course, we hope you live to enjoy many, many, many more. Happy birthday, Mom.
All right, and so we've got some congratulations that go out to the Media Mavericks at ILTV Studios, the basketball team, who went undefeated to win the championship for the Intercompany Basketball Tournament on Saturday. We have their picture, producer? Yeah, that's it. Let me say it again. Congratulations goes out to the Media Mavericks, ILTV Studios basketball team, who went undefeated to win the championship for the Intercompany Basketball Tournament on Saturday past. And here's their picture. Okay, it's coming. It's still coming. So we saw the picture of Bradley Mummy. We getting the picture of the basketball team next. And then when we're done with the basketball team, I also want to send a shout out to the 5 Bahamians who will compete at the NCAA championships. And, you know, this is what I tell people, right? See, this is why in the Bahamas you got to be connected, right? Because Quincy Penn, Javonia Valcourt, Anthea Charlton, and Keyshawn Strawn, I wouldn't even know who they was. I only see Charlotte Our boy here, Oscar Smith. And I know Charlotte Our just called me to talk about Oscar until my phone cut off sometimes. And she just tell me about Oscar and how Oscar could run and how Oscar could jump and how ain't nobody in this whole school could beat Oscar and how Oscar is the fastest boy in the whole wide world. And one other bunch of things about Oscar, right? And so I was flipping through the newspaper and I said, well, goodness mercy, shall follow me, look at Oscar. I said, Charlotte Hour must he ain't lying for joy. This boy must he could run. And so as a consequence of me knowing Oscar, Charlotte Hour boy, I end up having to also say a special shout out to these 5 people. And I hope they win things, but I know one thing, this Oscar boy, he could run for true. So I suspect we got at least 1 gold medal in the middle there. We got the picture of the basketball team yet? The basketball team, we got their picture yet? I don't know, maybe we haven't. Oh, there they are. So let me read it again. Congratulations goes out to the Media Mavericks ILTV Studios basketball team who went undefeated to win the championship for the Intercompany Basketball Tournament. All right? And so let's go to the story with Minister of, Immigration and National Insurance. So apparently the Minister of Immigration and National Insurance, oh, we do have one other thing. There apparently is going to be some t-shirts on sale for the Labor Day March coming up in honor of Rodney Munca. I'm going to get some more information to you all tomorrow with that, the number to call, etc., etc. But if you want t-shirts, I see one bunch of y'all telling me y'all want t-shirts. Rodney means so much to you. We already gave out 1,000. So y'all with the 1,000 t-shirts, y'all show up, right? For God's sake. It's a holiday. You should be home, right? We're going to be on the march with the, what is their name? BCPOU. The march starts it's going to be on June 6th. That's Friday. And so we are marching, a group of us, as the Friends of Rodney Munca. And what will we be doing, spiritual advisor? Saving the woman. Damn, that's what we're going to be doing. So come around tomorrow so we can tell you exactly how to go about getting your t-shirt so that you could join us on the march. We have banners and handheld placards and one bunch of other fun things to have out there. I think we should be getting some Bahamian flags as well so that we could go out in support of Bahamian wakers, Bahamian woman wakers, in particular, and it'll be a wonderful day and a wonderful day.
Okay, so it's a good opportunity for all of the women them who love Rodney so much that they submitted to his leadership. Please come out. We're begging you to come out to the Labor Day march. They're gonna march with the labor unions as well.
Yes.
All right. And guess what? This is gonna be a grand opportunity. When all the women them come out, we have some young men who are aspiring to be leader of the women. Them. I don't.
Yeah.
Now I know if they can make it, right? They're just aspiring to. But
Well,
this,
I inviting them to take man seat. Isn't
Well,
that the
well, this is gonna be an opportunity.
Isn't that the teachings of his learned Senator Rodriguez?
this is going to be an opportunity for you guys to ask these women what would it cost if they would consider going into labor again. See,
Well, first you have to
See,
start
there's
off
going
by
to
taking man
be a
seat.
Labor Day march, right?
was the advice.
Just ask them, would you consider going back into labor?
Wow.
See what they
Well, now hold on. Hold on. You know, women is making some interesting decisions.
Oh,
You know, these women buying their bra so that they can. So that they can work. Remember that now.
boy.
Women.
Let's see,
women
start the Labor Day.
champion the right to work, right? So if they wanted that to do and that was hard, they must see could make baby because that easy. Making baby ain't hard.
Now you're going to get your statistics, right? You can get it now
Oh boy.
on Labor Day.
So let me tell you what else happened to me, spiritual advisor, over the weekend. I went into South Eleuthera. Have you ever been to Topham Bay?
No, I've been to Roxanne.
They should do. Where's the Minister Glennis Hannah Martin? Y'all should do like a mental case test study.
Topham
Right?
Bay. It ain't Topham Bay. It's
They say
Topham Bay.
Topham
Bay.
Right.
Right.
Right. The school in Topham Bay Primary, sits on a picturesque. I don't know who I did was to put that school there. It is on a picturesque beach overlooking the ocean with cool ocean breeze just flowing through the cloud. These have to be the. If you can't learn in the Topham Bay Primary, something is wrong with you. These children don't have a piece of stress in the school. I mean, they just get to stare at the ocean. Cool ocean breeze just hit against the building and the shore just wash right onto the road. This look like somebody you put a hotel. Who put this school here? Anyway, that was one of the fascinating things. And Clay, I have to give it to Sylvanus Petty. Man, Naughty Lucha look good, eh? I mean, the roadsides are all clean. Sylvanus got the little road. Sylvanus, I might have to take back like 1/16 of the things I say about you, because you look like you was doing too bad. All the road leading up to the bridge was nice and lit. All the street signs was in, and it was wonderful. And I went down, and the economy was bustling. All the little local bars had people at them, about 6 people in each one. And it was a big crowd, And I went down at the Tree Island dock, and that was nice and tidy. The administrator's building was nice and tidy. Went over by Harbor Island. The economy there is booming and bustling. And I said, boy, maybe Sylvanus was on to a little something, Sure.
You coming back? You say you coming back to be prime minister? You thought he's joking?
Sure, boy. I might have to. I don't know. I have to.
Take a second.
I
look
have
at
to.
what he said.
Sylvanus, fly me back down to Naughty Eleuthera. Let me look again, and see, boy. But Clay. So here's the thing: if you go to Eleuthera, South Eleuthera looks like a minister is responsible for it. Like, cause you could see government projects. So you see the clinic coming out of the ground, right? The government is doing this thing where they fence in the property, dig a bunch of foundation, put 6 pieces of steel in each corner,
And then
so
leave it.
and then put up a poster.
And then leave it.
But at least that's where the government
Until
doing
the
their
next general election.
And then, of course, you could see the road project. Man, Eleuthera got good road, eh? I've been down in Vims's Bight, because they don't say Vims's, they say Vims's. I've been down in Vims's Bight, and the road smooth like airport road.
Okay. Great.
I know why, only
We
between
got major
people down in
development.
the back here, but
Okay.
yeah, and I went over by Lookout Point, and that was a wonderful, delightful experience. And what else was happening down there? Where else was the road pretty good? I mean, it's just really, you could tell that the members of parliament for the Eleuthera constituency are actively at work. That's what I want to say. Everybody appears to be working. The areas where people hang out at, what you call those? The local areas are all very robust and boasting. And I'll tell you something that was interesting.
Do you have any fish fry?
Well, the fish fry was on Friday. I didn't get there Friday.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what else is interesting. Everywhere I go, people giving me U.S. money for change.
So that means a lot of tourists in Eleuthera.
Yeah, ain't nowhere I been. Give me my money back.
They don't bank in Eleuthera?
They do have a bank in Eleuthera.
Right,
They have
because-
CIBC down there. Did I see Scotia Bank as
So
well?
what's
down there?
supposed to happen is that the U.S. supposed to go to the bank.
Well, it can't, not if it in the register, eh? When I give you my Bahamian 20.
You're supposed to get Bahamian dollars back. The store's supposed to control the U.S.
Oh,
It's
I
the
know.
U.S. is deposited into the bank, and then the
They
U.S. is
obviously
bought.
ain't tell the people in Bimini that, because the same thing in Bimini.
They
When
don't
you go-
practice the right thing.
When you go to Bimini, ain't no Bahamian money in Bimini.
Well, Bimini, you can understand Bimini, because that's just
But what you
45
mean? They
miles.
got. Listen to me. When I've been on Saudi Eleuthera, Clay had 2 big cruise ship tie up. I said, well, goodness, and see if everybody come off this cruise ship, that's more than the population of Eleuthera. Yeah. Yeah. So
There things happening.
Yeah. This is actually pretty good. You could look at it and see that the members of parliament.
Do we have a picture of the taxi? All right, we got some stuff going on in this country that needs to stop.
What is this stuff?
Apparently, there's a Frenchman who is driving this taxi. It means the Frenchman has a government taxi plate. Why does he have this red border around the yellow taxi plate? We can argue that. But if you look on the right-hand side of that taxi, there's a Haitian flag. Now, what is that all about? What message is being sent here?
What does the handbook say?
We need to find out.
Yeah, because
because he's basically promoting and flying this Haitian flag in the Bahamas.
I only just listen to one in every 1,200th thing C. Allen Johnson ever says, right? But C. Allen Johnson has said one thing one time out of the 1,200 things that I've heard him say that actually makes sense to me. If the law doesn't expressly prohibit it, then the law allows it.
But this shows where the loyalty is.
Well, again, if the law doesn't, I tell you, how much things I listen to from
I don't know.
Allen?
I just
listen
thought
one
I'd
in
look at that.
1,200th thing from Z. Allen. And of the 1,200 things that I've heard from him, the one thing that sticks in my brain is, or that is stuck in my brain is, if the law doesn't expressly prohibit it, then the law allows it. Because you have freedom to move. And so, if at any point the law doesn't want you to do something, the law should expressly state that you cannot do the thing. And I agree with that. Now, of course, I know that smart lawyers has watched this show, so if that is incorrect in the law, I just want to say C. Allen Johnson say that, and I repeat it after C. Allen Johnson.
But that's interesting, though. That photo.
So we should look at it.
It's a very interesting.
Who's the Minister
photo.
of Transportation?
When was that
Who's the Minister of Transportation?
Joe Kobe Davis.
She even ain't got license plate print. You think she got time to worry about this? The woman with the SD plate, whose son almost gone to jail. Call us and let us know if Joe Bet print the SD plate them yet. And just in case that is too much for her to get done, call us and let us know if you was able to get the regular plate yet. Because don't forget, the woman just called us last week and tell us she can't get SD plate, she can't get regular plate, and they tell her the line on OT plate is a week. But the police keep stopping her because she ain't got no plate. I think the minister, might be a little busy.
Anyhow.
Yeah.
Are we at 5:30? Or we can open lines?
No, we can open the line.
Okay.
Open the line.
Let's open the line. 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775.
Yeah.
And 698
You said the woman them shouldn't have no baby.
0. You know, they find it to be very interesting. I see a comment in our ILTV Facebook page where somebody says that having sex before marriage is not a sin. They say that is a big lie. Okay, so if that is a big lie, okay, how is it that if two people decide to get married and somebody steps outside the marriage and has a child, how come you can go to court and get divorced? I don't understand that.
Well, that's easy. That's easy, Brad. Because the law prohibits it.
That's interesting.
Is there a scripture in the Bible that says, learn the laws of the land and abide by it? Is there a scripture in the Bible that says that?
We are to obey the laws of the land, so long as they don't conflict with the laws of the... Okay. Welcome to Freedom March, call you live. 323-7775 is the number to call.
Hello.
Hi.
Your live caller, go ahead.
Yeah, good day. What's up, Mello?
Hey, all
I'm
is well.
Bradley.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bradley, did you pass by the F&M fair on Saturday?
I was there, actually. I was there for like about 2 hours.
Man, I was trying to figure where the crowd was.
Caller, let me tell you what I've been made advised of. Would you like to hear what I was advised of?
But before he advised you, I was there, caller, and the fair had a fairly amount of people there, but not as well attended as last year's fair. I must say that.
I can tell you what I experienced, what I see.
What you experienced?
Because I know West End had something out there on Montague.
Yeah. I don't know why they...
Man, that's probably where the crowd was.
Yeah, I don't know why they planned those two major events on a day the F&M was having a fair, but obviously it split the crowd. there was a lot of people out there on Montague, but the only thing with Montague is those people were basically seconded to a small area, whereas with the F&M Fair, you had a big, wide open space.
Sounds like capitalism.
And
Sounds
you know,
like
people just
capitalism to me.
moving in and about. But
Sounds like
I
capitalism
do
to me.
admit that the amount of people that was to the fair on Saturday at the Armbelly Park was not as much as who was there last year.
Because
So.
you know, Mr. Johnson spearheaded that. Are you familiar with that? Mr. Johnson
Johnson
guy who
spearheaded
was
what?
there.
The West End Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's spearheading that.
So, caller, can I tell you what I've been advised?
Yes, sir.
I'm advised that under the Pintat administration, the F&M intends to take on a very eco-friendly policy. And because they are friends of the environment and they do not wish to do any damage to the environment, when they realized that all that grass was out there, they said there's just no way they could invite people to walk up and down on this grass. And so in their efforts to be a friend to the environment, right, they told F&Ms not to come in mass because they wanted to make sure that the grass didn't suffer too much abuse. All right?
Yes.
And they don't have to believe me. I have the picture. Show me the picture, please. They say you could see from a drone. We ain't got the picture yet. The picture coming. You could see from a drone that the grass was very healthy and plush, and so no one could accuse the F&M of damaging the grass out on R&B. All right?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay then.
Let's take another phone call. You see
Welcome
how I
to Freedom
tuned that
March.
off for you all?
Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Miller and Mr. Supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I think about some beaming ladies of children.
Mm-hmm.
All you gotta do what other countries is do. You see in Canada, when they show paternity leave for a year over them.
Really?
You think that'll make them have the
The
baby?
government could raise it from 3 months to like 6 months, and raise the life rate to $1,000, and take care of every children from when they born, like till they reach 18, even to give them $20 a month.
They get 700 a month, actually.
A month?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, 700, yeah.
Until they're 18.
For
Yeah,
the baby?
yeah.
I need to go make me one Canadian baby.
Yeah.
What
See,
I
that's
do?
what I'm saying. That's what I'm
You know-
saying. If the government gives incentives for people to have children, then maybe you will see an increase in the population. But yeah, Canada has a very interesting plan.
And they still have to
do.
and what's this? And they still have to import citizens. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, the population is small.
It's because these caller.
Yeah,
Do me a favor. You have a smartphone.
yeah.
You just do more than gossip and watch porn on it.
I watch a little porn on it, but
Okay. Good. Here's what I
Caller,
want.
you let
Hold
this
on,
man lead you right down the paths of sin, man. Why you
If he had lied, that would be a sin.
why you allow the devil to trap you like that?
Caller.
hey,
Because these people got smartphone. The only thing they want to do with it is gossip and watch porn. Nothing else, right?
yeah.
Go in the search bar on Google. That's the same place you go to look for the porn.
Yeah.
Type in the word megalomania.
Yeah,
And then, you know how to spell that?
yeah, man.
Okay, because if you can't spell it, just press the button. I gotta teach you all how to use your phone for other things. Press the button, would look like a mic, and say the
Yeah.
word, and Google can spell it for you, right?
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to tell people is, I think that we have got to investigate psychologically the women of this generation because I think they suffer from megalomania. If you look at this article, this woman with the college degree say she been to a whole college and ain't no good man was there. You think about that?
Yeah, that's
She
real-
was the
that's real.
only good person come out this whole college. We live on a planet with 8.14 billion people. 3.9 billion of them is man, and she can't find 3.9 billion prospects. None of them is a good man. That sounds like megalomania to me. Anyway, that's the jingle. We get into, and these woman group can't tell me nothing else. I ain't listening to them. Don't go nowhere though. More freedom marches on the next side of the break.
Man.
Welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you so much for staying with us through the break. You're listening to us on 103.5 FM The Beat, channel 224, channel 112, or on ILTV Studios on Facebook. We're supposed to have Tanya on the line. Is Tanya there? Tanya, you there?
More volume.
Well, Tanya, give us a call
Let's
back.
try it again.
Yeah, give us a call back. I don't know how I keep forgetting to do this. To my beloved grade 2 teacher, Miss Johnson, who was a wonderful teacher to me when I was in T.G. Glover Primary School. I was a stammering boy then, by the way. And she always took such wonderful care of me, even though I was a little stammery boy. I used to stammer a whole lot, actually, when I was in T.G. Glover. But she was always so nice to me, and she used to let me sit in her air-conditioned classroom, because she had air-conditioned classroom. That's how you know she was a big-time teacher, because this was about 1981. And in 1981, Miss Johnson had air-conditioned in her classroom. And I saw her the other day at a local business, and she hailed me, and she told me how happy she was that I was her student. And you know something? I think about it, and I thought about it all weekend. And while she's happy to have had me as her student, I am even more happy to have had her as my teacher. And even though she is not the teacher that stopped me from stammering, because that's Miss Robinson. I met Miss Robinson, wherever you are, when I was a 3rd grade student at the Carlton E. Francis Primary School.
And we are saying,
torture me with reading over and over and over 1,000 times, read in public and read out loud and read, and one bunch of reading and la da 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 da. And then that's it. I was healed. I never stammer again after that. And look at me today. Thank God for Miss Robinson. You don't want me to talk with Miss Robinson?
No. I was talking about
Oh, yeah. So thank God for Miss Robinson.
Oh,
I think she
got
went on to
Tanya?
be the principal of Claridge Primary. So, Miss Robinson, wherever you are, see, I don't stammer no more. You was right. Hey, Tanya.
congratulations to all of the graduates, whether it is from preschool, primary school, junior high, senior high, or from university. Congratulations on a job well done. And yes, to help you celebrate, we have taken 30% off all of our graduation items. 30% off. You can come on in and do your graduation shopping. But we went even further. Mr. Miller, guess what? We have got the graduation balloon packages. We have them in the black and gold and silver, or you can get it in the pink. You can get it in the blue. You can just come in and get an arrangement of balloons if you don't want the whole basket. Yes, we've got the basket packages, and those basket packages start as low as $19.99, or you can get them for $39.99, or as high as you wish to go. Or you can just come on in and put your own basket together, because you know your graduate. Shop Smart is located right here at number 122 Mackey Street, and we're open Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. for your shopping convenience. But if you can't come in the store, all you need to do is shop with us 24 hours a day. That is on our website, shopsmart242.com. Yes, you can do all of your ordering right there. You can have it delivered to the boat of your choice, or right here in Nassau to your place of business. You can also give us a call here at 698-1051 or 698-1052. Or reach out to us on our WhatsApp line, our messaging line, 813-4397, 813-4397. Gents, you know I always like to tell you, remember to shop early, to shop often, and to shop smart. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Tanya?
Thank you so much, Tanya. 323-7775. That's the number to give us a call here in studio. Bradley Roll, the spiritual advisor, is still with me.
You have that photo. Sorry about Mr. Levon Major. What's your name? Levon?
Well, I know one thing, it ain't Major.
What are you?
Bradley Roll.
Levon what?
Well, my God.
Miller. Sorry.
Well,
Forgive
what
me.
more
Forgive
must
me.
Jesus do? He
Forgive
has
me.
laid the foundation and opened up the way.
We want to wish.
This why
what
you can't
I
think
said
about my
Levan
name.
Major.
This why you can't think about my name. One piece of soft hands pop up on the TV, and you just gone.
No, I
You
know
gone
her.
to
Yes, I
sit.
do know, but her mom sent that to me. So we want to wish. Is it
Renika Swan.
Oh, Renika.
Yeah.
Okay. Renika Swan, happy birthday. It's coming from your family.
Sure, she ain't named Renika Major.
No.
What a time to be alive in God,
Swan.
holy Jerusalem
It's
city.
coming from your mom and your family members, okay? Renika Swan, happy birthday to you. We wish you a happy birthday. All the best to you. And we hope you live to enjoy many, many more. Happy birthday to Renika Swan. And we want to wish...
Patricia DeVoe.
but is this the Speaker of the House?
Yes.
Okay, the Speaker of the House is having a birthday. Happy birthday to the Speaker of the House, Patricia DeVoe.
Yeah.
All the best to you, coming from your family and friends.
But that's a Bamboo Town constituency.
Where do you see that?
Happy birthday to Honorable Patricia DeVoe.
Okay, so happy birthday to all.
Bamboo
I
Town
can't see that far.
constituency.
Bamboo Town. Boy, somebody can get Bamboo Town soon. Happy birthday to the Honorable Patricia DeVoe, MP. Bamboo Town constituency.
The spiritual advisor is an unsaved. He's the unsaved man. Come this way. Come this way, spiritual advisor.
Speaking of
323-7775-69.
come on down, Bamboo Town.
775. This spiritual
Happy birthday
advisor.
to the Speaker of the House. All the best to you.
The
And
phone
we
lines are open. Give us a call. Hello, caller. You there?
hope that-
Spiritual advisor, how are you?
Yes, sir. How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Great.
Mr. Miller, how you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm good.
All right, just a little tip. Ask your producer to alert you all to when persons are on the line
Oh.
and holding. Just tell
Okay.
them do a little better job on that because obviously there's no communication. But why I'm calling, two things. I want to encourage both of you, if you can use your position of influence to just let the wider public know or the Bahamas know that all is not lost with our young man. And I'm just calling because of an incident that happened today in the Pinewood Gardens area, broad daylight. And it seems like it's getting worse and worse with our young men. But however, there are a large number of young men that are doing well, that are not involved in crime. And I don't think we highlight that enough. And I think spiritual advisor, along with yourself, have a good position to encourage that. You all have the ears of the public and try to encourage these young men to do a little more positive things. Addition to that, I would suggest, because I can't ask you all to do, to keep the pulse in the papers as it relates to things or relevant things that are happening. Sometimes the show seems to be like all over the place. Just a suggestion. Very, very, just critiquing in a positive way. Because again, you're going to end up with attrition in your listeners, and people are going to eventually leave and stop listening to the show. I literally hold for like 20 minutes. So if you all can tighten up on that, but other than that, if you all can encourage the wider young men, I'd really appreciate that. Thanks.
Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
caller. Take care.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
He hate listening to us so much he hold on for 20 minutes. I appreciate it.
Well, no, don't do that. That's
He said, what the man say? My God. How come I can't repeat after the caller? The caller say he want us to tighten up on the things. He want us to read the newspaper so that we could be more adept in our view of what's going on. I just read him a whole article of the newspaper.
But there were other events that current
Yeah,
that
we
people
just
want to hear.
send birthday shout out. Have you ever seen what happens when we don't send these birthday shout out? The woman almost beat me up in the food store because I say happy birthday. So we have a broad listener base.
Hello.
And hey, caller, coming right now. We have a broad listener base, and we try to touch everybody. And with regards to the crime, Shanta Knowles got crime down around here.
But there's been
Anyway.
a lot of killings lately, though.
How 2 people get killed in the last, 2 months, spiritual advisor?
Okay.
Anyway, hey, caller.
Hey, Levan
Hey.
and Brother Roll.
Yes.
I got to take one piece out of that gentleman just now. I've been holding on before the commercial with Tonya. So I think you just need to tighten up on that a little. But let me send a happy birthday out to the Speaker of those of Assembly, my member of
We
Parliament
just did
in
that.
BTC.
We just did that, caller.
Yeah, I know, in BTC, Bamboo Town constituency, Miss
Yeah.
Patricia DeVoe,
Yeah.
coming from all of the constituents, all. And, Levan, you know what happened on Saturday? Saturday remind me of, you remember when the F&M was supposed to name off some candidates by C.R. Walker? And Menace had the little gathering by his house that night. That same crew was up on Montague.
Yeah.
That's the Menace crew.
Yeah.
Mark my word on it.
So they might be FNAs. Hold on, you might be onto something.
Mark my word on it. You see that same Johnson man?
Yeah. Oh, well, I know Richard was an FNA long time.
Caller, let me ask you a question. You believe fairs and events is voting?
No, I know the people is vote.
Oh,
Well,
so that this doesn't make no sense. Doesn't make no sense.
Hold on, caller. Hold on,
people
caller.
just vote.
Caller, you watching us on
Come to
TV?
the fair and events as vote.
Caller, you watching us on TV?
Hello?
You watching us on TV?
No, I can't see TV.
All right,
I ain't got no sight.
Well, I won't put up. For the people, stay with us. The thing I'm putting up is the picture of the grass saving event they had out on.
No, but listen to me on this end here, Levan, because I can hang up because I know one or two other people want to get on.
Yeah, you can hang up.
Yeah.
I want to say something first. I want to give. I know spiritual advisor don't get on, but he's a Christ or Church of Christ man or whatever. I forget his church name. All due respect. But I will tell you, the PLP will outnumber the FNM 6-1
Well, great.
on Friday.
Wow.
Mark my word on it.
No.
And this will be the turning over of the
it's amazing. Hey, everything's political in this country.
No. People
That's what you. Hold on. That's what you turn
Don't say.
You turn the Labor Day march.
Political.
Okay. Thank you so much, caller. Thanks so much. Let him go. Let him go, producer.
I thought you wanted to hear from the callers.
The foolishness you hear from some of these callers.
When I tell the caller, let's take another
go to the next
caller.
call.
When I tell the caller
see.
that I think we do what he say he do, you say I harass the caller. Oh boy. Let's take another call. Hello caller, welcome to Freedom March.
Mr. Miller,
Hey.
with this Labor Day march,
Uh-huh.
I hope someone would carry a placard saying, hang murderers, because that was one of Mr. Munter's cry.
We have that there.
Okay.
You could rest assured.
Now, I just want to explain the difference between Jesus and God again.
You mean the hold on. I'm gonna pause. We doing the Jesus and God discussion now?
No, you gotta call me on my cell phone, 814-6096, because you're gonna mislead the public. So you have to call me privately.
Could I just
call
say
me.
one voice?
No, call me privately, 814-6096.
Yeah, Bradley said he want to talk to you all about that because he wants you all the thing.
I don't want you misleading the public. Go ahead, next
Let's
caller,
roll
please.
the calls. Hello, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Yeah, remember the attack on Christopher?
Who Christopher?
On Shirley Street.
No, I remember no Christopher on Shirley Street.
The brutal attack on Christopher when Fred Mitchell said that since he only have one leg now, we can remove him and put him someplace else. But governors right there standing without Christopher there. You remember that?
So you mean, what is that? Is that Prince Street?
The statue.
Yeah, I ain't sure if I know.
But go ahead. What's your point? Go ahead.
The Columbus statue. It's been missing for like 4 years now. Going on 4 years.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, but I'm wondering because you were talking about Bahamian women not wanting to have babies and the babies that are here are not Bahamians and you justify it. But I was wondering if the reason why Fred didn't bother to get that statue repaired because he probably wanted to put Toussaint Louverture statue there.
Jesus. I don't think so. That's a bit far-fetched.
Yeah, and...
You mean it's far-fetched?
Do you know who he was? He's a freedom fighter in Haiti.
Yeah, but then Haitians run things and I saw all over the radio talking to you.
How much baby you make? Because you might be a Byron Bunny Tail talking to me. How much baby you make?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I have multiple kids, man.
How much I ask?
I got more than you. I got like, I can't count.
Well, you go and make one tonight.
Hey, but listen to me. I got grandchildren, okay?
I only ask how much children you got?
Listen to me. You got some 2 children, right?
Mm-hmm. And how much you got?
You need to go back to the drawing board and try to go back with at least but 6 or 7 more, okay?
How much you got?
Me? I have multiple kids.
Okay, hang up the phone. I don't want to listen to that lie no more. Next caller, 323-7775. You got multiple children and you don't know how much children you got? You sound like a Byron Bunny Tail to me. Because it's usually the people that keep making noise about the people taking over and you ain't need no application form to make payments.
Yes,
you could go home and make one tonight. Hello, caller.
Yes, Mr. Miller.
Hey.
When last you been out by Goldwood? You know, the hotel Goldwood?
Believe it or not, a week ago.
Okay. Why do they have a parking lot in the middle of the road?
I ain't really sure. Okay, so I know that there was a parking issue with the hotel because of the way the hotel is designed. I can tell you what it is. It's Department of Town Planning. The same people who say the Chinese them own too much liquor. They too easy to fondle. They just let anyone build anything anywhere. Goldwyn obviously is too big for that property.
Not only that, you see the new construction. Caller, what happened is the construction workers don't have any place to park. They're building some new
So bust them the way.
high-rise condos, and plus staff, and plus the construction workers.
Yeah, so bust them the way.
You parking in the middle
Yeah.
of the road.
They shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
They're parking in the median.
In the middle of the road.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Why
No,
are
I
you
agree.
parking in the middle of the road?
It's because town planning has let people.
Down by the beach.
They parking by Goodman's Bay too.
You talking
Yeah,
foolishness? They
but
park
they're
in the
parking
office
in
of
the
the
middle
Prime
of the
Minister
road.
yard. What you talking about? They park in the office of the Prime Minister yard.
No, they in the middle of the road.
They're in the
know.
median. They're at the median, the grassy
know.
area. We see it.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
we see it.
That's the middle of the road.
Yeah, we
No,
see
I
it.
agree. I agree. But again, it's because our
It's a
systems
lawless
fail
town.
us.
It's lawless.
Yeah, I agree.
It is lawless.
It
And
is
the
what
Prime
happens
Minister's
when you-
office right there.
This is what happens when you allow organs of the state to be fondled by people with corruptible means. That is what happens.
Well, it is a huge project, but it's nice though. I
But
must say.
and that's the police job. And that's the police job. The commissioner of the police.
The police
that
busy.
don't
You only see
happen.
Pookie them jumping out of the car with their 2 foot and gun in their hand. The police got some things to work on now.
But caller, obviously they're not touching it, right? So what does that tell you?
No, I don't want to
So
speculate to
it's
that.
a
I don't want to
lawless
speculate to
town.
that. I don't want to speculate to that. You
Yeah,
see,
it's a lawless town.
you see Pookie them shoot up 2 in Pinewood yesterday. Wake up this morning and shoot another one. The police got things to do.
Oh. So, hold on. So you justifying something?
I
You
justify.
justifying that?
No. Walk back with me. I'm saying, you say that it's a lawless town. Why are the police not doing something? I'm saying, in my mind, I hope that the commissioner in her wisdom is planning Operation Tow Truck for this little operation you're talking about. But I feel like every time she try to get to something like that, you know, just like how the minister can't deal with the flag flying off the taxi because she busy trying to print license plate. You know, sometimes it takes a bit of time, you know, and they get into it. Anyway, let's take another call. But if Pookie, if you all could please give the commissioner one little 2 months break off this killing, you watch how much car could get towed around here. 323-7775. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, good afternoon,
Hello.
spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon.
And good afternoon, Mr. Miller.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you all doing? Mr. Miller,
Hi.
just said I wanted to correct you on something.
Please.
Saturday, no, I don't have a spiritual advisor.
Oh.
Saturday, you were talking about the FNM fair. The FNM fair didn't have much people. Let me tell you why. It was Aaron Bailey, Illuminati, 53 anniversary.
Oh, Lord.
Majority of those cars
Oh,
was
Lord.
Aaron
Put in the
Bailey,
picture, man. Put in the picture.
Illuminati students.
I don't want them lie. Look at
Listen
this.
now,
Jesus, Savior, pilot me.
I am saying to
What's
you,
your point in this, though?
Hold on, Mr. Rose. Let me speak.
What's the
and
point?
I can let you
What's
speak.
your point in this?
You
The
all only
point
have as
is
much
that
people as a quartet.
You need, listen to me. The point is that you need to learn to speak the truth.
Oh,
You don't
boy.
speak the truth all the time.
Hold
you
on,
know.
producer, put that woman on hold, man.
Not,
Put that woman on hold, producer.
Lord. Oh, Lord. That
Woman.
poor save woman.
Woman,
We could see the head.
just
come.
come a second, man. Let me repeat myself. Here's what I said. I was at the F&M fair for a couple of hours, and that was between the hours of 7 and 9:30.
It was packed when you was
Just
there.
give me a second.
Okay.
Because I want to explain something to this woman. I specifically said that the amount of people I saw at the fair was not the same amount that I saw at the fair last year.
Did it cause
So
palpable
now
grief?
I don't know what she running on with or what she's saying.
But see, that
but
statement is
all I'm
misleading.
no. Now she need to go and find out how much people was at the fair last year and compare it to the time I've been there between 7 and 9. Now listen, let me just
7
let me
and
just
9 p.m.
hold on.
I'm asking a
Let me
question.
just silence this. Let me just silence this mute discussion. What people are doing, they're trying to compare numbers to fairs and numbers to events to some election thing. And listen, people at fairs and events
and we've done it
do
for 50
not
years.
vote.
And we have done it for 50 years.
All right?
There's a very popular
miss,
slogan in
don't
politics.
come on this TV or this radio
You're not gonna be
accusing
this
me of
woman.
anything. Just come a second.
This woman saved.
Now, come back now. What's your point?
She didn't go on. Is there not a popular slogan in politics where every single politician from Mussy 1974 to now gets on a rally stage and say, whoa, look at the people? No?
But that wasn't a rally. It was a fair. It was a fair.
I ain't listening to you.
No, that's
Put the
foolishness.
picture back up. Y'all look like y'all can start a landscaping company.
That is foolishness. Why you
I
comparing?
get it. You care about
Why you
grass.
comparing numbers of the fair to some election or some?
I say if you had, you all have less people than the Ebenezer Choir have. And that's 8:06 p.m. The same time you was there.
Let me ask
As a matter of fact, so few people there. I think if I stay at this picture long
So what does
enough,
that
I can see your
mean?
head.
So what does that mean?
I'm saying to you that if the people don't want to come out when you're all having fun, you think they're going to stand up in the sun to vote for you?
Oh wow!
Oh, boy.
That's what you all draw from this?
Oh boy!
It
Tell you
is
what.
silly. It is a stupid argument, and it makes no political sense.
Tell you what.
All right. When it comes to events, you know why those people went to Montague? People like music, they like food, and
You only
they like to get
here?
drunk.
You only none here?
This is a
My
fundraising event.
Let's take another.
All
Where
right?
they was giving away
This is a
$10,000.
Yes, but this is also a fundraising event.
Oh my
you
goodness.
buy food,
Well,
you buy drinks.
Let's
So they're
take one
raising
goal.
funds.
Let's take one goal. This spiritual advisor.
Y'all a bunch of
Oh,
PLPs
boy.
where they making no sense,
I'm an
all right?
FNA.
Whatever.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
How are you?
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, listen to me. Don't listen to the radio. We won.
Yes, I'm calling Mr. Miller. They have to you stop talking while spiritual advisor is talking because that is unprofessional. Besides, you have to organize your show better than you do.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Carter.
Yeah.
We have any more calls? 323-7775 is the number to call.
Spiritual advisor.
Yes, sir.
Levan Miller.
Hey, Dave.
This is your show. Don't let the boy tell you. Control your show, okay?
Dave, make your point before we hang up on you.
All right, spiritual advisor. I passed there for them fair.
Oh, boy.
There for them had less people than.
What does that mean, Dave? Dave, what does that mean?
People at fairs this vote. Michael Pentat is not electrocuting the base.
So that fair was a rally?
Hey, come on, man. Let's keep it real.
Fairs rallies?
Dave, hang up. Dave, I got him from here. Hang up. Well, hang up. I got him from here. Well, since the fair ain't a rally.
It's a fundraising event.
Hold on. Miss, too bad we got to talk together now. Because he ain't going to stop talking foolishness. If you say the fair ain't a rally, then, brethren, I suggest to you that you tell Michael Pentard to wash the yellow off of his belly and ratify some candidates so we could come to our rally.
The PLP don't know candidates either.
I'm not listening.
Fred Mitchell said everybody's starting out on their own.
The PLP have the
But
government.
the PLP
What is
has-
the opposition
The
busy
PLP
doing?
has a name in the candidates.
Call
yet.
one rally. Call one rally.
Fred Mitchell says that every
Call
person
one rally. And
is
y'all got lists with
starting
name on it?
off
Listen,
afresh.
tomorrow with the spiritual advisor, just come and
They're
join
going to
the FNA.
name... The PLP name the candidates either.
Let's take another phone call.
Welcome to Freedom
I
Mark
think you've got
Live.
cold fever. Hello, caller.
Y'all sound like a bunch of PLPs.
I'm an FNA. Hello, caller. Even the callers don't want to talk to you no more, bro.
Welcome to Freedom Mark Live. Live.
Hey, Levi.
Now I gotta find something to call you because the woman tell me it ain't no way I should be calling a big grown man pumpkin. And I don't know. I don't know. So we got. I can call you Charles.
That's for the woman to call me pumpkin.
Jesus,
That's for the
man.
woman to call me pumpkin, not you.
Well, why you keep answering?
Well, we got it done.
Man, I gotta call
And
you. Whenever you call from now on, I can call you Charles. Charles, what you said?
But listen. But we cool. I have no phobia, man. You have phobia. Eh?
I know. It's a phobia. And it's
But listen, I want to wish my speaker of the house a happy birthday, man. Happy birthday, and may she enjoy many more. But I also want to say, when election comes, it's always still on the way we want. No matter how the fear look, it's all the way. But Bray David, what you say?
Well, Charles, I have to go with you.
But I want spiritual wife to come with me because I got a contract with him. But he. But
No, you can't buy me. I'm not for
we
sale.
won't buy you. We won't save you.
I'm sorry, Pumpkin.
We won't save you, man.
You can't buy me.
Charles, we gotta go. We run out of time. I can see you later, Charles. Yeah, I can't. The woman tell me, please don't call the big girl man Pumpkin no more. So I have to. Instantly, I heard the rebuke and I accept that in my heart. We got time for one more. Let's take one more. Welcome to Freedom March, caller.
Hello, good day.
Hey.
Yes, Mr. Miller. Quick concern. I work for ICS, but we haven't received a paycheck in 3 to 4 months.
I heard that.
You mean the security company?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to find out what's going on.
The security company with the secure the armor truck?
Pardon?
You mean the one with the secure the armor truck?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ICS, that's enough reason to pay. They just secure the money anyhow.
Call us back tomorrow.
That's the jingle.
Yeah.
See you all tomorrow.
If it's the Lord's will, we'll be back.
We'll be right back here on Freedom March.